Χριστός ανέστη εκ νεκρών, θανάτω θάνατο πατήσας, και έτησε την μνήμαση ζωήν χαρισάμενος. Christ is risen from the dead, by death trampling upon death, and to those in the tombs he is bestowing life. I come to you tonight on this beautiful second week after Pascha, the week in which we've enjoyed every morning and every evening, again striving to understand through the hymns of the church what actually happened on that first of the new Sabbaths, that week after Christ's resurrection, when there where the disciples were gathered together and the door was shut, he came and appeared before them. Every day after that week of the reading of the gospel account of that event, we hear over and over again throughout the week, in the Orthros and in the Vespers, hymns referring to this event. Tonight I noticed in Vespers, that one of the hymns said something about how Christ showed the print of the nails in his hands and the pierced side, his side, to all the disciples. And I thought it was quite interesting, because it was not only Thomas to whom he showed the print of the nails and where the spear pierced his side, but to all the disciples. And their faith was too encouraged. It wasn't just to Thomas. And thereby our faith is encouraged to know that the 12 saw Christ risen from the grave, that he showed to them the print of the nails in his hands and where the spear had pierced his side. And then the other thing that is referred to tonight in the Vespers, the good doubt of Thomas. There are some people who, I don't know where it comes from, but they call some people a quote-unquote doubting Thomas, as if it was bad. It wasn't bad. It was a good doubt that he had. And it is therefore we encourage people to be thirsty and to thirst after the truth. And of course, when we are parched like we are, sometimes in this worldly environment in which we live, where politic squabbles seem to permeate the air, where social unrest, because people don't know the truth about Christ, so they count on their own egos and misunderstandings, and squabbles there too ensue. There are microbes in the air, there are illnesses, there are viruses, there are cancers, and there are misunderstandings between peoples. It happens even in the closest of relationships, that there are squabbles in a family. Husbands with wives, wives with their husbands, mothers with their children, children to their mothers, parents, fathers, grandparents, extended family, cousins, aunts and uncles, friends in the church, other friends that we may have outside of the church. And so we, somehow being reminded of all of these broken circumstances, want to call ourselves up to a higher level of living and of faith. And I think one of the real important messages that Christ would have us understand as we sit in his presence, in the presence of him who is everywhere present, filling all things, as the sun slowly makes its descent on this beautiful day, that we want to take one day at a time, fill it with his glory, arise in the morning, and if we are ill, and if we are bothered by some things, to arise in the morning and glorify Him. Our first thought to be of Christ our Savior risen from the grave, of God, the Holy Trinity, maybe to make a prostration, να κάνουμε και το πρωί 1, 2, 3, 3 μετάνοιες και να δοξάζουμε το Θεό. Ξυπνήσαμε και έχουμε μια μέρα μπροστά μας. If we glorify God with that first breath when we arise, then without worrying too much about the future, we can worry about the day. Christ told us, don't worry about tomorrow. Tomorrow will take care of itself. And then we can fill the whole day with Christ. We can put on Christ as we get dressed. We can wash ourselves with the waters of regeneration as we wash ourselves in the morning. When we eat, we can remind ourselves that He has given us even to eat and drink His own body and blood. And we can think of these things. As we're dressing, we can think of our baptism. Osis Christon evaptistite, Christon enedisaste, Alleluia. All who in Christ have been baptized, Christ have you put on, Alleluia. Ναι, δινόμαστε με την βάπτισή μας τον Χριστό. It's true. With our baptism we put on Christ, like we put on our clothes. And when we put on our clothes, maybe we'd like to think that each time. Why not? It doesn't take much effort to think. And then we proceed in our day. We've washed, we've dressed, we've arisen. We think of Christ as we put those clothes on. We eat our breakfast, drink our coffee, our juice. We can think of the fact that He gives us His very body and blood to drink and eat. And then we can go for our day, making the sign of the cross at each juncture.